Hi everybody, Eugene here with Darkroom Software. In this quick video, we're going to be talking about some of the limitations that Canva has as a design and editing tool, and how we can get around some of those so that we can use our designs that we have in Canva in Darkroom Booth. So let's go ahead and jump right in. There will be a little bit of Photoshop, but nothing too difficult. Okay, so here we are in Darkroom Booth. I have a blank canvas for a template. I'm going to add some artwork that I kind of rearranged in Canva. And one of the nice things about Canva is there's a lot of assets that are built in and things that you can do that are available. So here is my design, and I'm going to show you the issue that you run into almost immediately. It's laid out pretty well. You can tell that this gray box is where I want my image to go. Now the issue is whenever I add my image box, it's going to go on top of it, and now it's covering up. So that looks like it's lined up pretty well, but it's covering up the bunny and the text. And I want those all to go on top. So now if I take my image box and move it behind there, I still have this gray box that's not allowing me to see my image. There should be a 1 to let me know that's where the image is going to go. So if I use this and print it, I'm going to just get a gray box because it's covering the image behind it. So what are our options here? So I can take this graphic into Photoshop and just use my magic wand and then delete, and now I have a transparent background. I can see the checkerboard pattern. That lets me know that it's transparent, but if you look right up here, everywhere where it wasn't continuous is gray. So I can go in there and click away each one of those. Or I know some of you that are a little bit more familiar with Photoshop are saying, oh, you just go into the select tool and just use color range. The issue with that is gray is so specific, or it's so general, that it would then take the eyes and the nose and whiskers out. So without getting into that too much, but you can also see there's a little piece right there. So what I'm going to suggest, we'll just close that, don't save it. Let's switch back into Canva. I have it open in a web browser right over here, and so we use green screen all the time for images, so it's easy to knock out somebody because green is not a real common color within skin tones. In this, I do have a little bit of green down here, but I'm going to use a very specific green. It's a very bright green, so I'm going to just select that, change the color of that object, and I'm going to go with 00FF00, which is a hexadecimal code for all green, no blue, no red. So now it's real bright, and I'm going to just go ahead and save that. It's exactly the same file. It just has green background now. And so now in Photoshop, I'll take this file, use select color range, and just that. Okay, and then click OK. And now I can use delete, and you can see it took out the little spaces in between the A's and the E's and this little triangle right here. And then I can save that. Let's go ahead and I want to show you one more thing before we're done that makes the process even easier, and why I'm suggesting specifically that color green. But let's switch into Booth and just double click, browse, and then we should be able to select this now, and we're all set. I can see the number 1 right there, it's cut out, and now there's my image. So for those that are not real familiar with Photoshop, and maybe I moved a little bit too quickly, we're going to try this one more time, and let's switch back to Canva, just so you know it's a brand new image. We're going to change this border to, we'll go with blue. Okay, I'm going to save it and download. And this time, instead of taking it into Photoshop and editing the image, I'm going to use this little droplet right here that does all those same actions but in an automated fashion. So whenever I grab this one, you can see it has the new blue border. I'm going to drop it right here, and it's going to open Photoshop and start processing the image, and then save it. And now it's done all the work for me. So if let's just for fun, we'll delete it and then click add artwork, browse, and there's a new one. Sometimes it'll show as white, sometimes it'll show as black, but if we click OK, and we want to make sure use image alpha channel is selected, you can see it's all cut out. And that's how you can still use transparency with Canva graphics, even though Canva does not have that option as of now. It might be in the future when you're watching this and you say, oh yeah, it's totally in there now, and I hope one day it will, but for right now, that is the best way to knock out the image area so you can have a PNG overlay graphic. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.